I'm an ICU nurse, 5 years of 12-hour night shifts, breathing in sterilizer fumes, holding the hands of dying strangers while my own family texted only when they needed cash. I saved every overtime check, every holiday bonus, $78,000 total, for the wedding I dreamed of since I was a kid, hiding in the supply closet to escape my mom screaming about how I'd never amount to anything if I didn't take care of my brother. 2 days before the wedding, I sat in the nurse's station at 3 a.m., cold coffee sweating through the cup in my shaking hand, staring at my bank account, $12.47 left. I called the bank panicking, convinced it was a fraud hold, until the rep told me the transfers were authorized, signed by my mom, to my brother's online gambling accounts over 6 months. That's the first reversal. It wasn't a hack. It was my own mother, the woman who'd walked me down the aisle in my head 1,000 times, who drained every penny I'd bled for to cover my brother's $80K in betting debts. I drove to my parents' house at 5 a.m., still in my scrubs, shoes caked in hospital parking lot slush, and my mom didn't even deny it. "You make good money," she shrugged. My brother slouched on the couch scrolling sports bets. "He's your only brother. You'd rather ruin his life than have a slightly smaller wedding." My fiancé Jake showed up 10 minutes later, and I sobbed into his chest, begging him to help me fix it, until he sighed and said, "I knew. They told me 3 months ago. I didn't say anything because I didn't want you to overreact." Second reversal: the man I was supposed to marry, the one who'd held me while I cried after losing a patient, had been in on it the whole time, letting me plan a wedding I couldn't afford because my brother had blackmail on him, cheating on me with a coworker, photos my brother had taken. I didn't sleep for 48 hours. I didn't cancel the wedding. I showed up that Saturday in my $1,200 wedding dress I'd paid off 2 years prior, my hand steady, walking down the aisle to a room full of people who'd only ever asked me for something. My mom smiled at me from the front row, my brother grinning like he hadn't ruined my life, Jake waiting at the altar like he hadn't betrayed me. The officiant asked if anyone objected, and my mom stood up, fake tears in her eyes, and said, "I just want to say how proud I am of my daughter, even after she refused to help her brother in his time of need, even after she turned her back on her family." That's when I took the mic. Third reversal: I didn't cry, I didn't yell. I pulled up the bank statements on the projector behind me, the text threads from my mom begging me for money for medical bills that went straight to the casino, the screenshots of Jake and my brother's texts planning how to keep me in the dark, the photos of Jake cheating. The room went dead silent. My mom's face turned white, my brother tried to run out, Jake stood there shaking. I looked at all of them and said, "This wedding is canceled. I'm not marrying a cheater. I'm not keeping a family that only loves me for my paycheck." I sold the house we were supposed to move into this morning. I accepted a job at NYU Langone, double the pay, starting next week, and I filed a police report for embezzlement 20 minutes ago. Fourth reversal: the room erupted in applause. My mom's friends, the women who'd always told her she was too hard on me, walked out on her. Jake's parents screamed at him and left. The cops showed up before the reception even started and took my brother away in handcuffs. I walked out of that church, got in my car, peeled off the veil, and drove straight to the airport. I didn't look back. For the first time in my life, I wasn't living for anyone but me. I didn't need a wedding to be happy. I just needed to stop letting the people who hated me hold the keys to my life.